Tony, you need to talk to the DPW director about the stuff on Main Road, because they put big stop signs all over the property so that he wouldn't go any further, and he cut down trees where the right-of-way was. Isn't that unbelievable? Yeah, he said he'll wait and talk to you because he's concerned about a couple of things that's happened this weekend.
Not like down where I told you.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to continue because we want to get into executive. Jean Monis, Aruda Dairy, I'm sorry, Town Council sitting as a Board of Licensing. What's the matter? Oh, you know what? Sally Black, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Open forum, yeah, you are very patient. Open forum, you did ask to speak, and I totally forgot. Yeah, it's about Project Purple. Kelly?
Come along, girl.
And thank you for being so patient. I was going to get to it and I forgot.
Okay, so I just wanted to thank the council for embracing this the way you have. It's wonderful. We will get you a shirt, Denise.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to let everyone know that this isn't new in Tiverton. It started in 1987, and I think in the 90s, Mrs. Mello was involved in it. And at the time, it was called Substance Abuse Task Force. So we changed the name to Tiverton Prevention to make it more positive, take a stigma off it, because when we called it that, who's going to come? They're like, oh, they're going to arrest me, what's going to happen? So we've been doing that for 14 years at the high school, meeting once a month on Monday. That's why we get all those federal grants. And Kelly and I have been very busy decorating the whole town.
I saw that today.
Fire and everybody. Kelly, would you like to tell about
Yes,
it?
we're very thankful to the Tiverton Police Department and especially the acting chief and the acting captain who set up a meeting today with Chris Herron. He came to a kickoff event at 9 o'clock this morning at the police station, and their DPW, our fire department, and the police department vehicles all have purple ribboned logos on them for this week. So we are thankful to everyone for all the collaboration that we've gotten in town.
And the logos were donated by the sign shop.
The Tiverton Sign Shop.
Tiverton Sign Shop gave us those. And when I taught at Jeffrey High School, Chris Herron was a student there, and he played basketball there, everyone knows, and he signed a basketball for my son James, and I still have it. It says, "Good luck, James." So when I reminded him of that today, he was very happy. So thank you very much for doing this with us all together. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And I do apologize for forgetting you.
Bring on those flamingos.
They're always in my front lawn at some point during this summer. Town Council sitting as a Board of Licensing, non-advertised. Jean Monis, Aruda's Dairy Farm, 408 Stafford Road, request approval of holiday license, subject to meeting all legal requirements. I don't think Jean's here.
They said they may not be able to make it tonight, but this is just a holiday license. We weren't quite sure she even needed it because her licenses come through the state for processing and stuff, but there was no fee to a holiday license anymore, and we thought it best cover that.
To cover all bases.
Madam President,
Councilor Edwards?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the holiday license for Jean Mona's Aruda's Dairy Farm, 408 Stafford Road, subject to meeting all legal requirements.
Second.
Motion's been made in second. All those in favor? Unanimous. There's no appointments or resignation, no unfinished business. Financial business, Council President DeMederis, update on proposed FY 18-19. The Budget Committee did have a meeting last Thursday. Councilor Hilton and I were there, and so was Mrs. Mello. I explained what our process was going to be to them. I told them that we've already done capital with DPW, and we've also done their budget, that we were not holding any votes right now until we got the major departments and their budgets talked about, and had each department head to explain things to us. They were very much on board with us, and I will be giving Cecil any changes that we do vote on as time goes on. At some point, we probably need to vote on the three major things, including the capital, but they were very patient with what we were doing. And just to remind you all that we do have a budget workshop Saturday, this Saturday at 9 o'clock. And hopefully, I would like to do fire and police. I don't know if we'll be done with it, but at least we can start, and we'll do their capital as we did with DPW, and then we'll go through their budgets. And if you just want to notify, the police chief knows, he's saying yes to me, but the fire, yeah, the fire
You want-
chief.
That's all that's going to be on the agenda, police and fire.
Yeah, I think that would be, put something like in any further discussions or something like that, so if we do have time, we can do something else. But anything we do would have to be something that we didn't have to notify department heads. But we could do a couple, like we could do you even, just you talk to us about it. We have no.
You
no-
don't do me.
No, we don't do you, but you do talk about it. Because sometimes your staffing has, it matters to other staffing in the building, so, and,
And
okay,
everybody's waiving notice on all these special meetings for the budget.
okay.
You know my rule.
Yeah, he has to get to the dump before 12, but we may have to go on a
No,
little.
no, no.
Oh,
My,
I
my,
thought that
my,
was-
my rule is I waive notice whenever.
Okay.
Madam Clerk
I thought
asks.
your rule on Saturday and how long you
Nah,
can be
whatever.
here.
As long as I can get there at some point.
Okay. New business, Steve Bellucci, approval to set rate of $9.75 for land evidence recording on proposed sewer projects. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And council members, it's nice being in this hot seat again. But in any case, I'm
It's a
here
little
with a
different
different
this
hat.
time, yeah.
As the general manager of the Tiverton wastewater district. We're planning to do a roughly $7 million project. We opened bids last Thursday for most of the shoreline up in North Tiverton. It's going to start at the beginning of Riverside Drive and Main Road, continue all the way up Riverside Drive. We'll be picking up Quaker, Bowen, Tucker, and Bluff up the hill. We'll be continuing Riverside Drive down the town portion, where we're picking up Sunderland Heights, Poplar. We're coming out the back of Poplar and tying into Schooner Drive, where there's already an existing sewer system. The second part is Robert Gray, and picking up, I'd say, the lower half of Robert Gray, Summerfield Lane, Craig. So we're going to be doing 20 town-owned streets. What I'm here tonight is to ask that we be treated like the North Tiverton Fire District with their registration fees for land evidence, for liens and agreements. Their current rate is $9.75 per lien or per agreement. If we would charge the full rate, it would be $52 to $53 per home. So the difference between $53 per home and $9.75 is the difference we're asking for. The main reason being that the 20 roads that town roads that we're going to be tearing up, we're going to be rebuilding, either by grinding and paving or whatever has to take place to rebuild the roads. Only 248 people are going to be paying the $3 million to rebuild the roads, not the 6,500 houses under the tax base that usually would pay to fix town roads. In fact, I've had a conversation with the Director of Public Works. In essence, when I was the director and a utility came down a road that was junk, I paid for half of it as the Director of Public Works, feeling that the town got a brand-new road for half the price. I spoke to Bill about that. Obviously, there's not money, no money, no money. But only 250 people are paying this whole bill. It's going to come out to over $18,000 for every one of them. So, I just feel that as part of that, where they are paying to rebuild all your roads, a break with the registration of land evidence fees, is something that I'd be asking for. I gave, I think if you have the package, if you have the second page, it kind of describes the anticipated costs, either with the reduction or without the reduction. These 4 phases, phase 1 is right now is Riverside Drive in the bottom half of Robert Gray. That's 248 properties. The next phase we put out is going to be the upper end of Robert Gray, and that's going to pick up 230 homes. Then the next phase is Lepus and Lepus Church and a little bit of work on Mill, 211 properties, and then we're hoping to move to Garden Heights, where it'll be 334. So that's why I'm here, just asked to be treated like the North Tiverton Fire District with a fee of $975 to hopefully reduce the costs, or actually reduce the costs to these homeowners on an individual basis.
Any questions from the council?
Madam President.
Council Edwards.
Mr. Bellucci, I have a question for you. Would it be possible for the Tiverton Wastewater District to actually publish what the schedule is, what roads you're going to do, what the projects are? And the reason why I ask this is because when I bought my house in North Tiverton, it came with a letter, and I bought my house at the end of 2015, and it came with a letter, and I think the letter was dated 2013, that said that there would be sewer on my street on Randolph Ave within 5 years. And the question I had for you is, what is taking so long to get this project up and running? Because there are people in this town who are in a position now with the wastewater district where they may need to be replacing a septic system or some other sort of on-site waste treatment unit. And if we're going to sit around and wait for the sewer to come on, which makes sense because you're not going to go spend $30,000-$40,000 on a septic system and only to have the sewer come down the road, a couple of years later. I think that the residents in this area, they need some sort of an update as to where the project stands. So for those residents who have those issues, they can actually do something about it and figure out what's going on.
going
And I can tell you, I've done research. I've tried to figure it out myself, and getting information out of the wastewater district is very difficult.
Well, we have a website, and again, we're a small organization. There's 4 of us that work 24 hours a week. We don't have big staff, but we try to keep our website up to date. But to answer your question, we did send out a notice to all of the people that have signed up under Phase 1. Randolph, we're only going to be coming up 3 or 4 houses on Randolph under Phase 1. So the second phase, which would be 2 to 3 years out, I want to say, will probably catch your home if you're not one of the bottom 3 on.
No, I'm not at the bottom
I'm
at
sorry.
all.
Okay.
So
to answer your question,
I would like to know a time frame.
If you couldn't wait, you had a failed system, and you put a new system in, and we came by a year later with a sewer, you would not be required to hook up for 25 years, till your system is 25 years old. So you're not going to get a left and a right banging. So that's an option that's available. There's another option where you can even delay it further. If your system is working efficiently and has been inspected, that 25 years could be extended out 3 3-year intervals, so 9 more years. So it's I get calls every day, when's it coming? My system's failing, when's it coming? And so all I can say is we open bids Thursday. We project to start construction on Phase 1 early spring, which will be like March, hopefully.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor LeBeau.
do you have finance in place for people who can't afford the $18,000?
Yes, we do not have it in place. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 state organizations, and along with the town, that we send people to apply for loans based on income, based on the ability to pay. Church Community Housing is one, stifle loan is, but we don't have any money.
But if they don't have any money either, you're going to pass them up, you're going to hook them up?
No, okay. If we go by your house and you haven't signed up, we're going to go by with the main anyhow, and we're going to assess you for the main. For instance, this project that we're doing right now, the total cost is $18,000 if you want to hook up. If you don't hook up, we're still going to charge you $13,000 or assess you $13,000
Because
to
you
pay
have
for
the
the main.
ability to hook up.
That's spread over 40 years. We've secured 40-year loan funding from USDA. But to answer your question, if we are helping people that have failed systems through your on-site program, and people that say they can't afford to pay, and we lead them through these different loan processes to see if they can get them.
So if somebody absolutely has no means to pay, what Tiverton is not going to, or the wastewater management is not going to put a lien on their home?
Yes.
You are or you're not?
We will put liens on every single home. That's what we're talking about right now, is the fees to place liens on the homes, because the people have to pay back this $5 million loan to the USDA. So we just can't let people, I know in a jump, what if about 100 people say, I don't want to do it, then what the whole,
I can't be on board with putting liens on people's homes, that's all.
okay.
Tony, you look like you were,
Well, actually, I'm a little, this is a worthy topic, but unfortunately, it's not
It's-
posted. Basically, what Mr. Bellucci is asking for
is for the money.
is to
It's for the
reduce
reduce.
the recording fee that the town charges for this. And under section 34-13-7, what the town clerk's office here in Tiverton and every other clerk's office in the state charges is set by statute. That's where the $51 is coming from.
Okay.
And that is, under the statute, any other instrument not otherwise expressly provided for by statute. So, what Mr. Bellucci is saying is, well, you know, what about this other one? They had to charge $9.75 for these similar things. You have to get legislative approval for that. So if you're gonna go ahead and do this, which you can do, by the way, what you would need to do is enact a resolution tonight in response to the request, requesting that the General Assembly make an exception to section 34-13-7, which would allow for the first page of this easement lien to be $9.75?
$9.75, yeah.
$9.75 for the first page,
Right.
plus $1 for every page thereafter.
After.
Will you write that resolution up?
I can, yes, so if you see fit to do it, you just need to get a public law in there that would allow you to do this.
I understand,
That's all.
okay.
And then we'll pass that on to our state rep too.
That's correct, yes,
Okay.
to the legislative delegation.
Counselor Hilton.
Madam President, I'd just like to ask the town clerk, based on the work, and, you know, the numbers are what, 248 of these in the first phase? Is this okay with your office?
Our office already charges that amount for North Tiverton Fire, I'm guessing.
Did we do a resolution for
Stonebridge.
North Tiverton Fire?
It was way beyond my time in
All
there.
right.
And we tried to look it up, and it wasn't readily available. We could research further. But it's the same price that you give to any IRS lien or anything like that. It's all that same
Okay.
price. We charge $9.75 for the recording and $1 for each page attached, as opposed to $49 for the first page and $1
Right.
each. But we are already doing that for other.
Steve, just as a suggestion, maybe this timeline should be on the town website also. Maybe
Okay.
Dave could put that, because a lot of people look at that also.
Okay,
And they
okay.
may not think of going to your website.
I see.
Or may not even know you have a website. So maybe if we put that information also on the town.
Okay.
I think more people would see it.
Gee.
How about a map? Like a map, like that shows,
Yep.
you know,
No,
phase
we have-
one in
we have
green,
that.
phase
Dave,
two in
make us a
red.
map, okay?
We do, no, we have them,
Okay.
I know exactly what you want. Yep,
Okay.
we do.
All right, so I'd like to entertain a motion.
I have one more question for Steve,
Sure, Randy.
because I'm doing some math over here. 40-year loan at 13,000, people coming by, is $27.08 a month. Will you charge that monthly to them, or are they going to be responsible to get a 40-year loan?
No, that's the default. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
If you want to be hooked up and not just have the main, then you would sign an agreement, and that agreement would be a lien on the property. If you failed, just like the town, if you failed to pay us, then your home could be in jeopardy, all right? That's fair, it's just like the town. You know, if they don't pay your taxes, you go to tax sale. I mean, so unfortunately, that's the only thing we can do.
I have no voice.
what I did.
All right.
Check it out.
So are we a little,
Is your legislation allow
Yes.
you to tax sale, just like a fire district?
Absolutely.
Because we have lost houses
Yes,
to
yeah,
fire district
yeah.
tax sales.
we have?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got to talk to the delegation about some stuff.
Okay, so right now, I'd like a motion, to, I guess, send a resolution to us, our state rep,
Legislative delegation.
the legislative delegation to set rate of $9.75 for land evidence recording on proposed sewer projects.
So moved.
Well, second.
Motion been made and second. Any further discussion?
Should we see a copy of it before we?
That's what.
Please allow me to draft it and send it to you, and if it's okay, then you can have it signed up and sent out.
So can we just?
Actually, can I rescind my second, and can we just, ask him to draft it, and then we'll put it back on the agenda? Or continue this item until we have something to actually say?
I guess so. Is there a timeline on this at all?
Well, right now, we have all these agreements in our office. So if someone comes to buy a house, they won't realize that, there's a sewer coming in and there's going to be a lien on the property. So once we get them in land evidence, then realtors, anyone can research that information, it'll be up to date. That's
So
the
we
only
can put it
reason.
on February 12th then? Because okay. All right.
So I just have one more question. So you're going to record a pre-construction lien
An agreement, yeah.
agreement, which is going to be this, and then a post-construction.
Then that'll be the lien.
Yeah.
And that'll be the
That
lien.
will be the lien.
So how, is this going to cover the cost of this agreement? This pre-construction?
That's what we have. Right now, we have a
Is that a one-page document too?
No, that would probably be about 3 pages.
Oh, I found something.
So, 1 page and then 2.
$12.75.
Yeah.
Going to be $12.75.
Yeah, I mean, we're not arguing asking about dollars. It's the 50 versus 10, plus or minus, that's the big thing.
If somebody pays for it upfront, then you don't lien their property?
No,
So
you can pay it all up, you can get your own loan, you can do.
That's what I did. I paid cash when you guys tied mine, not you.
Right.
The other
So that's-
sewer, they
that's
tied, and
not-
they made me pay cash on the spot. But I didn't have a septic system. I went straight into the
You went
system.
straight for it, yeah.
I went
yeah.
straight for it, so.
No.
I just,
And the same thing when they were building my development, we just paid for it to be put right in.
We'll whip something up.
Okay. All right, so I don't need a motion or anything right now.
Put it on the next.
Okay.
Next agenda. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Steve. Tax assessor Dave Roberts, 2017 statistical reevaluation update, proposal to authorize the town to prorate a tax on new subdivisions, proposal to change personal exemptions to a tax credit, proposal to authorize the town to tax exempt property upon sale. Hi, Dave.
Good evening. Okay, to bring you up on the revaluation, just for background, which I'm sure most of you know, but just to let the general public know, this is a statistical update revaluation, which is mandated by the state that we reval our properties once every 3 years. This one is just an update, which means that we don't have a intensive door-to-door update program going on. There are some field data collectors and appraisers, but they are not going to be going up to anyone's house, except that if the house is sold within the last 12 months or so, they may approach you just to verify the sales information and some data about the house. But other than that, we do have one field appraiser out in the field right now, just driving house by house, making sure all the data seems correct. We have established preliminary values on these properties, so that's what they're checking. We also have one commercial appraiser out in the field, also doing some drive-bys on the commercial and industrial properties. Most times, the question I get asked is, where do we stand as far as increases or decreases, as it may be? In this particular case, early on, we were estimating around 5 to 6% increase from the last revaluation. The market actually has been a little bit stronger since half of the second quarter of this year, second half of this year. So there has been some adjustment. So we're actually looking at a increase of around 10 to 11% on the residential properties. We don't have an estimate right now on the commercial. The field work will wrap up early March, and towards the end of March, we will be mailing all the residents a preliminary assessment. And once they get that assessment, if they have any questions, they can either contact the revaluation company or contact my office, and those phone numbers will be in the letter that each person gets mailed. If they have an issue or a concern about their assessment, the first step for them to do is to contact the revaluation company, meet with them, and bring your concerns to them, and hopefully it gets addressed. If not, the next step would be then when they get their tax bill to appeal to me. But that's a long way down the road, and we're hoping that that doesn't happen. The last couple of revals that we've had, the amount of appeals have been pretty low, so we're pretty confident going in that we're still going to have a really strong confidence level of the assessments that we hand out.
Madam President, I got a quick question. The field guys, do they have like badges and stuff, and is the police aware of, who they are and where they're going?
They are.
Okay.
They provide me their names, vehicle information, their vehicles are identified, and they do have letters from my office introducing themselves just in case they do have to approach a resident, but they also do stop by the police department and register with them.
Yeah, because I could tell you if somebody was driving slow down my street, I'd probably be calling the police.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, B. Proposal to authorize the town to prorate a tax on new subdivisions.
Okay.
Excuse me.
This is, just a policy or a suggested change to our proration law. Currently, we do have the authority under state statute to prorate new construction. So if there's a vacant lot as of December 31st, we assess the lot. Someone pulls a permit in March, finishes a house in August, we then can go and prorate the new value of that property with that new construction from the date of certificate of occupancy to the end of the year. So most cities and towns actually have that authority. There's only a limited number that have the authority to go out and prorate new subdivisions, and that would be my suggestion that Tiverton adds that element to our proration. It's not going to be something where we're going to get a tremendous amount of money from, but it's just another tool to get some additional revenue. And so I wanted to bring that to the town council's attention to see if that's something that'd be interested in pursuing. I did run this by the solicitor's office. They did provide some comments. We did address that. So you should have that in your packet. And if the town council wishes for us to proceed with that, we would have to provide something to our local rep. They would have to bring it to the state and get approved. And that would be the only step, I believe, Tony, correct? It would mean, we wouldn't need a local hearing on that. It would just be state statute.
That's correct, yes. It would be an amendment to the state statute.
Did you read this resolution, Tony, or
I
did you
did,
write
yes.
it? Okay. And it's fine with you?
It is.
Any questions from the council?
Madam President, if it's appropriate, I'd like to make a motion.
You can make it in second and we'll,
Okay. Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution relating to the levy and assessment of local taxes as described by the tax assessor.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion by anyone?
Madam President.
Councilor Above?
Dave, when the CO is issued, that's the point forward, just to be clear that from when the construction starts, nothing. When they move in or CO, then you're just going to tax them for the extra 4 months. Or whatever it is till the end of the year.
Yes, and in your specific question, that's correct. But just for the full picture, on December 31st of any given year, if someone begins construction, we would assess the lot plus a percentage for that building, whatever stage it's in.
So from January 1 till, say, July?
Right.
And it's-
Then whatever the difference is, that's what gets prorated. In no situation with that type of proration on new construction or the subdivision is there double taxation. So in this particular case with the land, if the lot is valued at, say, $500,000, not subdivided, they get the approval, they record the final plan, and now there's several lots, and in entirety is worth $1 million. We won't tax them based on that $1 million. We're going to back off that $500,000 that they were taxed on December 31st. So there's no double taxation.
Right, and the other taxes just go as they built?
Yeah.
Correct, okay.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor and a second. Any further discussion?
So this is just subdivisions, or is it like, there was a single lot, an individual was building a house? Would they come under that as well, or is it just subdivisions?
Well, we have the authority to do the new construction now. So subdivision could be one lot, it could be 50 lots.
Any other questions? All right, so I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Unanimous. Proposal to change personal exceptions to a tax credit.
This one, if you recall, I believe it was in 2015, the town council at that time approved changing the senior low-income exemption from a value base exemption to a specific tax credit. The reason we did that was in every year when the tax rate changed, their personal exemption changed. So we got a lot of questions on that. It's like, well, last year I got whatever credit, $300, and this year it's $260. Why the difference? Or vice versa. So to eliminate that confusion, especially with the senior low income, we decided to do a fixed credit. And what I'm suggesting is that we just move forward now and change all the other exemptions to a fixed credit. If we want to make a change somewhere along the line, as it stands right now, we would have to go to the General Assembly and request a specific dollar amount. What I'm suggesting is the same that we do with the senior low income, is if we get approval from the state to change over to credits, the change would also give the town the authority to draft an ordinance. And if we wanted to change an exemption value, we would just have to do it internally by amending the ordinance and not having to go back to the General Assembly.
Okay.
In doing this change, it's very insignificant as far as any type of impact on the tax rate.
Okay.
It just basically, we're just trying to standardize all the exemptions.
Any questions from the council?
Yeah, Madam President. So Dave, I just was looking at all this stuff, and, I mean, so what you're saying is the rates are all over the place for the towns in this, the examples?
Well,
And-
by state statutes, yeah, cities and towns, they're all over the map as far as what they give.
Yep.
One town actually might give their veterans exemption a $50
Yep.
tax break, another might give it, a couple of $100.
Right, it looks like also.
Right, so I'm not trying to
Tiverton's-
standardize the rest of the
No, I
state.
understand that, but what you're trying to do is so that the town itself, we can change it.
Correct.
That's what you're trying to do, right?
Right.
And I just wondered, why is Tiverton so low? It just seems like very low on a lot of different things.
Well, again, when you take a look at the exemptions that's currently under state statute, when you're saying low, we're low only in the fact that we're changing our exemption over to a tax credit.
Oh, okay.
The other things are value-based, so if
Yeah.
you see something in there for $50,000,
Yeah.
obviously they're not giving $50,000 as a tax break.
Right.
They would take that $50,000 and multiply by their tax rate
Okay,
and come up with
all right.
an exemption
So this
amount.
is, so what you're asking for is that if we can change it so that we can, the town can then change specifically for Tiverton,
Right.
correct? Okay. Okay.
So if you were to change this, would you update the veterans exemption to include Iraq and Afghanistan, global war on terror kind of stuff? Or are you taking that just out of what
Yeah, whatever is currently under state statute.
whatever's in the state
Right,
statute?
so those dates have been passed by the General Assembly. I don't believe any city or town has added or changed to those dates. At the state level, they might have something locally, but that I can't address.
Well, I only say that because they do seem to be different. Like, well, maybe I'm just reading the wrong paragraph, so.
Yeah, that state statute's very cumbersome and awkward to read, as they all are.
Okay. And how often, if we take these on as credits, how often do you think they would need to be updated versus doing exemptions?
To be honest with you, since I've been here, which will be 13 years, we really haven't changed them at all. So I don't foresee that. The only changes that we do make to the exemptions is after a revaluation, just to try to make things equal from the prior year to the new year with the new tax rates when they could change significantly. We can change, we have the authority by state statute to make adjustments. This actually eliminates that step.
Anyone else? Any questions? Joe?
Question for Tony. I get the veterans, or actually my husband gets the veterans exemption. I would have no problem voting on this, correct?
That's a class exception. You can vote on it.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure.
It doesn't put your husband in a better position than any other veteran.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I don't know about that.
Any other questions? Don't start trouble. All right. So I'd like to entertain a motion.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the legislation that Tax Assessor Roberts putting forward to change the personal exemptions to a tax credit.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? And D, proposal to authorize the town to tax exempt property upon sale.
This one here is also kind of similar to just bringing in some slight additional revenue sources. An example of this would be the library that we just sold last year. The prior December 31st, since it was town-owned, is exempt, and obviously there's not a tax on it. We sell that building halfway through the year. There's no ability for the town to prorate a tax to that new owner, although they would be taxable. So this is just looking to introduce legislation to the state statute that would allow the town to prorate any properties that were exempt as of December 31st. Subsequent, if they're sold to a private entity that would be taxable, we would have the authority to do that. This is not going to affect many properties.
Okay. Any questions?
Madam President.
Just a question on the last one. Do we need a resolution for this one to change it to a tax credit?
The tax credit, I believe, once the General Assembly approves it, we would have to revisit that and have an ordinance, correct?
You need resolutions for all of them because it would be an amendment of the state law.
Right.
All right, so we need a resolution on the last one then.
Yeah.
A
you need-
resolution.
I didn't see it in
you need
We
there.
have a
for all of-
resolution for this one, but not for that
For all
one.
of these,
Yeah.
you need resolutions.
All right, because he explained it as an ordinance, so that's why I was, okay, resolution.
So we need a resolution for the second one.
Yeah.
We have,
We have one for the first one.
And for the
B,
third one.
And the third one, D, or actually, B and D, we have it, but we don't have one, a resolution for this one.
It's only
You're going to
one
need
C.
resolutions A through D. Yes.
Okay.
No, B through
not
D.
A.
It was just an update.
I beg your pardon.
So
B-
we
B
have
through
one
D.
for B, we don't have one for C right now presented to us. And D, we have one that we're discussing now.
Yes,
So we need one for C.
yes.
That's what Joan's saying. Okay.
All right, Madam President.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution as put forward by the tax assessor to authorize the town to tax exempt property upon sale.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. And who will do C? Tony or Dave?
I'll
You need a
I'll work with them.
resolution.
Yeah.
We've been working along on
Okay,
these things. That's
okay. We approved it, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joan, for pointing that out. Town solicitor, approval of non-disclosure letter of agreement with Twin River.
Thanks,
Tiverton. Oh, thanks, Dave. Tiverton LLC.
Actually, if Mr. Robert could just stay for this item, just in case.
Go ahead.
I beg your pardon. This is a non-disclosure letter agreement. It is in connection with the assessment of the valuation of the Twin River Tiverton property. In order for Mr. Robert to go ahead and do that, he's going to need some proprietary information to be disclosed by Twin River, which they don't mind doing in connection with the tax assessment. But since the information is proprietary, they do not want it disclosed otherwise. So for Dave to get going on this, this is something that is needed for the assessment of the taxes. I reviewed it. It is standard language for matters of this nature for assessment purposes, and I recommend that the town enter into this letter agreement with Twin River. If you have any questions, be happy to answer.
Madam President,
John.
if it's all right with you, I'd like to make a motion to approve the non-disclosure letter of agreement with Twin River and instruct the solicitor, tax assessor, and interim town administrator to sign the letter on behalf of the town.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? And this is normal?
It is, yes.
Okay.
This is for tax assessment purposes, that's it.
Okay.
But otherwise, this is not information that would be disclosed. In other taxpayers of this nature that have proprietary information that they don't want disclosed to competitors also usually request these types of agreements.
That's correct.
Madam President, I know the casino's way over. Are they way over because it's worth more? Are they way over because they hit ledge? Because I want all the tax money we can get from them. If it's worth more, we want the money. You know
But
what
that
I'm
will
saying?
be,
That's what he said.
But that's when he's gonna find out.
That's actually why we want to have this agreement, so we can get
All
that
right, I'm just
information.
making sure.
right.
Yes.
But that's why Dave needs the information.
Correct.
Okay. Motion been made in second. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Planning board request for approval of on-call planning consultant services of Stevens and Goodrum. Anyone from the planning board want to explain this? Or talk about it? I don't know.
Well, an RFQ was sent out by the former administrator requesting proposals from planning consultants who wanted to be added to the master list for doing consulting work for the town on a project-by-project basis. And we earlier made a few recommendations of planners who we, the planning board, have worked with and know. We haven't dealt with Stevens and Goodrum, but we did review their information at our last meeting, the information that they sent in on their qualifications and capabilities, and we were impressed, and we decided that we would pass that on, just as a suggestion that they be added.
Any questions from the council while Stu is still up here? No? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the addition of Stevens and Goodrum to the on-call planning consulting services list for the planning board.
Second.
Motion been made in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Interim town administrator requests permission to advertise for town planner.
This is a result of your budget
Budget,
workshop.
yep.
And you said to proceed with one of the advertisements that we had sent out prior. I just want to also inform the council that we are now in the red on all advertising for ordinances, hiring, personnel. I am using comp plan advertising right now to get through this, because I think we have more than we'll need
All
in
right.
that. But I got to tell
If
you,
you need
we
any-
have used a year's worth.
Well,
in
we've been doing a
6
lot of
months.
stuff. And if you need any transfers, just bring it to us.
Not yet.
At this point, you're not, okay.
Because it also, in that, it happened to categorize as ordinances, advertising, and whatnot.
Can I, never mind. Okay,
Madam President,
yes.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the interim town administrator to advertise for the position of town planner.
Second.
Any further discussion? Motion's been made in second. All those in favor? Thank you. There's no bids and requests. Town administrator announcement, scheduling workshop with Miss Lorraine Joubert from Rhode Island URI regarding non-point education for municipal officials on Wednesday, February 28th.
Yes, I think I sent out an email on
Yeah.
that as well. That was also a result of the prior administrator was supposed to be setting this up, so that's when we have it for it. I do have one or two other
Nancy,
announcements.
January 28th, at what time and
It's
where?
February.
February.
I'm sorry, February, I know.
7 to 9.
I'm
And-
reading February, I'm saying January.
Right.
That's a PM, right?
Yes.
And it'll be here at Town Hall?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to be sending out a letter within the
Yeah, I
next
just
day
want
or so
to book that now before something else
to
comes up.
other departments that would want it too, and boards and commissions.
Okay.
And I just wanted to make another comment. The fire, I have a few other advertisements. The fire department has gone through their list. It's just an administrative thing. I'm going to be advertising to create another list for
Yeah.
the fire department. I had already received approval to hire for a part-time clerk to either try to get it from the full-timers that had applied or advertise. I'm not having success from the full-timers. They're really looking for full-time work, so I'll be advertising that. And I wanted to make mention that today the computers were hooked up in the new office upstairs, which is really kind of a help because our new clerk, Susan Richardson, who's been working out really well
Everyone is
in
telling me
the
that.
building official's office, and she shared with planning board. Well, when she's in this office, even today as they were setting up the computer up here, she was handling people that were going down the ramp to the building official. So I think that's going to work out a lot better once she's upstairs, completely upstairs. Should take a couple more days. And this way I won't have any clerk items. The meeting for tomorrow night that you have scheduled, which is on charter review proposals,
Yep.
I don't have any backup on that, so.
Yes, you do.
I do?
Well, you've got the previous backup that we had.
Okay. That was sent to the solicitor, though,
Well,
right?
I've got a folder,
For,
and it has all Tony's suggestions that we had talked about during our meeting.
oh, okay.
And I think you all, I know you all got it if I haven't.
No, it's that came to us, I believe, when myself, and either Counselor Ryan or Counselor Hilton was here, and we ended up
Well,
not
we
having the
showed up
meeting.
for the meeting?
We showed up for the meeting, and then it was either you or Peter were the only other people here.
So what
So
I'll
we got some
do,
backup, and that was it.
so what I'll
Three
do
of us
is,
had it.
I've got to be here tomorrow for police negotiations.
Okay, just bring it
I'll
and
bring
I'll
my
scan it.
folder with everything I have in it, give it to Nancy, we'll make copies for everybody
Where's the meeting?
here.
Is this our meeting or their meeting?
It's our meeting. So, yeah, so that we can get together what we were supposed to be doing months ago, they want our suggestions.
going to them.
No.
Gotcha.
And then when you get it to me, then I'll do it with Rob, then I'll talk to Rob Colta, and I'll try to set up a meeting where I'll go to them, because you all decided that I was kind of the liaison in a way.
So, Madam President, at the last meeting that we had a long time ago about this, I listed some things, but and I didn't know what to do with this, but I actually took the time to write them down. So should I give this to Madam?
Yeah, why don't you give it to
President?
Nancy, and then that'll go with, and I'll bring my phone. What time's our meeting tomorrow, 10?
10 o'clock.
But I think We're gonna be here at no, not you guys.
Oh, no, I know.
So 9:30, are we meeting before, or are we gonna meet at 10? 9:30.
I put a charter change in as well. I don't have a copy of it for everybody, what I put in.
Oh, yeah, but that was a
I can
personal
make a
thing.
copy.
But that was a personal
Oh,
thing.
oh,
You
okay.
went in and you went in front, well, you presented it.
I presented to Nancy, and Nancy turned it over to the charter commission.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys want to
want us
see.
to take a peek at it, we
Could you make a
could.
copy of it?
Sure.
Thank you.
But you are not required to do that because it's a personal one.
Yeah, well, I just, that way.
Yeah, that's perfect, Randy, that's good.
So is this meeting tomorrow, 7 o'clock?
Yes. Yes. Now, the 9:30 thing I'm talking about is
No, I knew
police
that.
negotiations, so I don't want to confuse, and that's me. All right, is that it, Nance?
Oh, the only other thing I have is the scheduling of interviews for the municipal court judge. We have 3 candidates that have applied.
You know, we were thinking of an idea, but I don't know if this will work with Joan's schedule or well, Joan really works out of town, out of everyone. I was thinking maybe we could do it before the meeting at 6 o'clock on a Monday, but I don't know if you could get here for that. If not, that's fine. I just thought that this would just get us out one night instead of doing it, because we can't do it during we could do it during a town council meeting, but it might be long. So I was thinking,
The last time I think we
Did we do it? I
during a
can't-
regular council meeting.
all right, well then let's
You wanna
do it in a regular
right during the
council.
regular
Yep,
council meeting?
yep.
Okay.
I don't remember Joan, to be honest with you.
'Cause the
But
last time it
probably.
was Humphrey, Donnelly.
Yeah.
I think there was only 2.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
do have 3 this time.
Yeah, just put it in a regular one. We'll get through
I'll
it.
try to put it on the February 12th.
Yeah.
If someone can't make that, I'll let that one go to the next meeting.
Is that it?
That's it for
Okay.
me.
Counselor announcements, I have a couple. I've been asked by Christine to change the February 3rd meeting of the comp plan because she will not be in town and she wants to be present. I just wanted to run that by you guys.
I originally had said I couldn't make the February 10th, but can do the February 10th one.
Is
if that's
February,
possible.
so it wouldn't be Saturday the 3rd, it'd be the 10th. Is that okay with everyone?
Which is, wait a minute, I don't know the calendar.
School vacation.
I don't think Counselor Hilton was available on the 10th.
No, because you were school vacation, right? So you weren't available the 17th. Because you asked me when school vacation week was.
So originally, we have the 3rd, the Saturday, the 3rd, and then
The
Tuesday,
13th.
the 13th.
Yes.
It's been a comp plan overload in 3 days.
I know, we gotta get it done now. Is the 10th, no?
I'll do it. It's not great, but I'll do it. Cancel my 10th thing.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, Thank you.
We need to get this done.
Yeah, we do. I'm
Right, to March 10th? then?
March 10th at 7 o'clock.
No.
I'm
February.
sorry, at
9
9 o'clock, I'm
February.
so sorry.
9 a.m.
Oh, my God.
February 10th.
I think I need to take more cold medicine
I
suddenly.
just want you to know.
Or less cold medicine.
A less cold medicine. What? What?
I'll be mopey. I'm gonna give up a trip to weekend in Florida, but.
Well, you don't have to. Do you want to do
No,
something else?
no.
Okay. And then my other thing is,
Wait a minute, is it, so it's 9 o'clock
Yeah.
on the 10th? Okay, thanks.
I'll try to get back into this. Twin Rivers has asked that Tony, Nancy, and I meet with John Taylor and Mark Russo, discussing just some stuff that's going on, giving us an update and some concerns or our concerns. Don't worry, we'll come right back to you with everything that was discussed. They just wanted to do a very short meeting with the 3 of us. So is that okay with everyone? I just don't want to do that without everyone saying, okay. No objections, what?
And if I may, the Rhode Island State Police have said that they would also like to meet in that venue, not in a public meeting, because what would be discussed would be some security issues, but they would like to meet also in that context, if that's acceptable to the council, that the council president be there along with some staff.
Yeah, could we eventually discuss this with the council in executive session?
Yes.
In executive?
or security.
As
But
security.
they wanted to meet first in that forum.
Is that okay with everyone? So I'm gonna meet with the state police regarding the casino. Not only me, Tony and Nancy, and we're gonna meet with Mark Russo and John Taylor regarding some concerns and things that are going on. And then we will bring it back to you guys. Okay? All right. Thank you. I just didn't want to do it without you knowing. Okay, town solicitor announcement, I'm sorry, any of the town councilors have any announcements? Okay. Town solicitor announcements, Judge Donnelly's decision on charter complaint, Justin Katz v. Jerome Larkin, Sally Black, Diane Farnsworth, Elaine Pavo, in their individual capacities in Tiverton School Committee. Tony?
Okay, you have a copy of the decision in your packet. It's a public document. You can see that the last sentence in the decision remands this matter back to the town council. Now, before I say anything else and before anybody says anything, I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here in the advice that I gave to you originally. I think there was a little bit of a misunderstanding as to where I was coming from on this. And, Joan and Denise know that when I first interviewed for the position, I said that the solicitor's first job is to manage the risks for the town. And although this charter complaint does not go to the town council, rather to members of the school committee, it arises from facts that started here with this body. There's already been an allegation that 3 of the members have conflicts on this, and therefore should not participate in that. But that conflict does not stem from the Rhode Island Code of Ethics. It stems from other parts of the Rhode Island law, basically case law, and the participation of those members would lead to liability accruing to the town itself. That fact hasn't been stated, but I'm saying it publicly now. Mm-hmm. And if those members have conflicts that have been noted and recognized and accepted, the other 4 members that participated, but on the other side of the issue, have the same problem. So that puts this town council in a very difficult position, because no matter what you do, liability will accrue from whatever decision you make on this preliminary matter. That's why I can't have any of you even comment on this, and that's why it can't be remanded. So unfortunately, what I have to do here is file a declaratory judgment action in Superior Court so we can get this straightened out at another level. Because what I don't want to see happen is a lawsuit spring from this matter, where the town now is incurring liability. And unfortunately, that's the situation here, and I have to proceed on that basis. Otherwise, I would not be managing the risks for the town. So, I'm not asking for permission, because you can't participate. But to me...
So he's just telling us what he's doing.
I'm telling you what's going to happen here, and not so much you, but really for the public to know what's going on here. I see no other course of action to protect the town from any potential lawsuits. I'm not looking for any comments.
No, we're not gonna. Okay, thank you.
I have one. I did receive a response yesterday, last night, I believe, from Mr. Katz regarding the decision. Can I give that to the counselors?
Yeah, email it to every one of us.
Oh,
Yes.
shoot, too late.
No, not you, he did.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, that's right,
Mr.
but I was going to
Katz
print it out
gave it
as
to
well.
us.
Because it's a public document, obviously, but I didn't
Yes.
know whether I should, okay.
They already have a copy.
For the record, I just want to say that Justin Katz is causing all this problem, if everybody at home to know what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
Just for the record, just in case anybody doesn't know.
Okay.
All right, anything else, Tony, on that?
No.
And town clerk, we've already discussed municipal court judge. Councilor Edwards.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed executive session, collective bargaining 42465A2, update on negotiations IAFF and IBPO.
Second, and yes.
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 And I'm just going to take two